Hey, welcome to another episode of Your Faith and Health Community. I'm your host, Pastor Jackie Jackson, and as always, on behalf of myself and our producer, Anita Alexander, we want to thank you very much for taking out time from your day to spend with us. And we hope that we give you some information that will improve your quality of life. And you know, it happens every time, never changes, never will. Before we jump into this show, I'm going to speak to you about health insurance. Have you got enrolled? You may be tired of me. You want me to stop? Everyone get enrolled in health insurance? I'll never have to say it again, but get enrolled anyway. Listen, very excited about this show. We have with us members from, they're not members. We have with us two people from the Cincinnati Job Corps. And I just learned today that that S is silent because I kept saying Job Corps. So if you're doing that too, stop it, right? But they're from the Cincinnati Job Corps. And we have with us Sharon Thompson, yes. Who is what is your position?
I'm a business and community liaison and work-based learning coordinator.
And work-based. And then we have to my right, Miss Destiny Evans. If the name sounds familiar, no, she's not from Good Times. How you doing, Destiny?
How you doing today?
Hey, great. Want to thank you guys for being here. Let's start this off. What is Job Corps? Because it's right down by the Museum Center.
Correct.
On what's that?
Western Avenue.
Western Avenue. It's been there.
It's been there for a long time. The building is over 100 years old. Before Job Corps took it over in 1970, it was the home of the Sisters of Mercy.
Right.
Yes.
I remember that now. So what is Job Corps?
The Job Corps program is a federally funded program funded by the federal government for 16 to 24-year-olds. It's a career training program, and it's very successful. It's residential. There are 125 Job Corps centers in the country. Also have one in Puerto Rico, Alaska, and Hawaii. The center at Cincinnati is one of 3 in the state of Ohio. There's one in Dayton and also Cleveland. Job Corps is a very successful program, and it really helps those young people get their training. We have smaller class sizes, and also we see the importance of a trade or career technical training, because all students are not going to college. College is not for everyone. A lot of students need the hands-on experience, and it's really something that has really worked over the years. Since 1964, during the Lyndon Baines Johnson, his administration.
So is he responsible for, was this a creation out of that administration, or did they just kind of jump in and say, hey, we like this program, we're going to support it?
Well, it was one of 3 programs during his administration. The war on poverty was very important to President Johnson, as well as there were 3 programs that were instituted at that time: Job Corps, the Peace Corps, and Head Start. And all 3 of those programs are still strong today.
Okay. Destiny. So you work with Ms. Sharon, Ms. Thompson, and so you guys go out and you talk to everybody, right? Is that, no?
No, not necessarily.
Okay, so are you what is it considered, a student or a member? When you're a Job Corps, are you a student, are you a member, a participant, or recruit?
I would say I'm a student because I'm learning new things at Job Corps, and I'm in culinary, so I do a lot of cooking and learning about the book and stuff of that nature. And I work with Ms. Thompson. She had help, like if I needed someone to talk to, or it was an issue, I'll be able to go to her and talk to her about it. And it's a lot of good stuff at Job Corps, a lot of good students. It's just an awesome opportunity. Like, you can live there. Like, I'm a resident at Job Corps, and it's wonderful. Like, even if you have nowhere to go, like 3 meals a day. They got an indoor and outdoor court. You can go watch movies. They do arts and crafts. You can go on rec trips. Like, we went to go-kart racing. We went to the circus, like haunted houses going on this month. And honestly, like, I never been like so diverse with a lot of people, like, and been introduced to many different types of people. And it's a good experience, like, definitely. Like, it opens your eyes for a lot of new things, I think.
Are you from Cincinnati?
Yes, I am from Cincinnati.
Okay, but you're enjoying kind of living on campus, and the diversity that's there? Because I would assume this is definitely a diverse program.
Yes.
Okay, and so you say culinary. So what is your specialty? And did you bring some?
My specialty is in baking. I love baking. And I wish I would have brought you some of what we had today because we made strawberry shortcake.
Oh, and you didn't bring any.
I'm so sorry.
Can we get her off the set, please? She's got to go. No, really. So how long have you been involved with the program?
I've been there for a month and a half so far.
Okay.
And the program that I'm in completes in 6 months. It's the earliest you can complete. So 6 to 8 months, I could be there or earlier if I do everything I'm supposed to do. And they also have like a drive and ed program you can go to if you need to get your license. And it's a lot of other stuff. They got CNA, we got facility maintenance, we have welding, we have office administration, and what's another one?
Carpentry?
Yeah, and carpentry. Carpentry as well.
My specialty.
Your specialty?
No. All right, so great. So you said a month and a half?
A month and a half.
About a month and a half. What made you go to Job Corps? What was it about Job Corps that attracted you there?
So I graduated. I had some issues at home originally, and I heard about Job Corps through a mutual friend, and I was like, what better than like a nice for education, and they have exactly what I want to do, and I know I can, like, when I finish and complete, I can go to advanced training in like San Francisco and Treasure Island and learn more about pastry and expand my education and still get the certifications I need, because eventually in the future I aspire to be a pastry chef, and I aspire to also have my own business and expand. And I always like wanted to do that, so I feel like Job Corps was definitely my best first step at achieving that.
Okay, great. I'm reading here, and it talks about the mission of Job Corps, and it says the mission of the program is to attract eligible young adults, teach them the skills they need to become employable and independent, and place them in meaningful jobs, further education or military. So tell me about that process. So it attracting, I guess I have a few questions in that, don't want to overburden it, but what is the process of recruiting? I guess you could say that would be the case. And then it's saying teaching them, which I get with all the programming that you had, the skills. But past the programming, past the teaching and getting them in. So how do you recruit? And then what is the process of working with them post Job Corps?
Post Job Corps, okay. In terms of recruitment, I have found, and we know now that most of our students that come to the program, it's word of mouth advertising. It's unbelievable. Word of mouth, because I always ask the new students, how'd you find out about Job Corps? Oh, my dad went here, or my grandfather went to the one down in Mississippi, or it's word of mouth. So you can't pay for that kind of advertising. We have orientations or information sessions every Wednesday at about 8:30. So if you're interested and you're in the ages, between the ages of 16 and 24, if you're a minor, you will need to bring your parent or guardian with you, and they do an information presentation and also take a tour of the center and answer any questions that you have. So we are contracted to have 202 students at any time. We have about 180 now. Since Job Corps is federally funded, the contracts to run the centers are based on a competitive basis. So we have a contract to serve 202 students. We have about 100 staff members. And it's a great program. Once they get into the program, they have an application. Actually, when they come to the information session, if they go through the process, at the end they will get an application. With any federal program, you have a lot of paper to do. Your documents like your birth certificate, social security card, your shot records. They also do a drug screen. Now, if they don't pass the first time, they can still stay in the program. However, they will be tested within the next 45 days, but they try to help them get exercise and really find other ways not to smoke. So it is really important that they understand that this is serious. Employers, everywhere you go, you're going to have to take a drug test. So it's important that they understand that. So the first 3 weeks, they are in a career prep class. So the group that comes in together, say if we have 8 or 10 students, they stay together the first 2 weeks to learn about the program, get oriented. They do a resume, basic resume, thank you letters, and just really kind of get oriented to the program. Then they also do health classes. And then the 4th week, if they have high school to do, they'll do high school 1 week, and then the next week they'll do their trade. So it's a very structured program, very structured and very effective.
Well, let me ask you this, because I noticed it mentioned to further education or basically getting the military.
Right.
Like, so if you're on college campus and you go to ROTC, there is a benefit of being part of ROTC and then going into the military.
Right.
Is there some arrangement or something worked out with the military that if you have students coming from Job Corps that it's some advancement or something for them in enlisting?
Yes. Going into the military after they complete the program is also considered a job placement. It's successful if the student leaves the program with a job that pays at least $12 an hour, or they go to the military, they pay almost more than $12 an hour now, or go to college or to advanced training. And there are other advanced trainings in the country where students can go to, like Destiny was talking about going to California, Treasure Island. There's a culinary arts program there. So we've had several students from our culinary program go. Automotive, they can go out to Utah, and they're still Job Corps students. So it's, it's very, very well structured and planned so that we want them to have a plan before they leave, a solid plan before they leave.
I guess my question was in terms of the military, like ROTC, you complete that and then you enlist, you
Right.
go in with a stripe, right?
Right.
Or if you go in with, if I remember right, and it could have changed now because it was a long time ago for me, but you could go in and with college, I think
the
2 years of
credits
college, you'll get, I think you go in as a PFC. So that's why I'm asking if they complete the programming.
Right.
Will enlisting in the military, does that get them a stripe or does it? But it
No.
definitely gets them placed, and the military
Yes.
offers some great careers
Yes.
and some definitely money for college that
Yes.
you don't have to, you're not having to worry about it.
Exactly, exactly.
And so the center provides academic, career technical training, and life skills training, including high school diploma and general education development, and which the GEDs.
Right.
So, one, what is the success rate of the individuals coming into the program? And two, do you see more, as Destiny, you graduated, do you see more young people coming in that have already graduated, or those that need to get to that point of graduation?
Well, we see students that have their high school diploma and those that don't. However, all the students, even if you have a high school diploma, you have to take a placement test. It's not a pass or fail, it's the TABE test for adult basic education. So they take that to see where they are reading, what level are they doing in their math, so that unfortunately some students that have a high school diploma might come in reading at a 5th grade level. So if that's the case, then they will have academic classes to try to get them up to at least gain 3 grade levels before they're finished. So that's part of it, and it's really for their benefit, because unfortunately some students are just passed through, and we don't want that to happen.
Right.
We want them to learn, to be, really to be readers and to have curiosity about things. We have all kinds of contests and things for the students to participate in. They also, one of the things in terms of payment, they get a little money every 2 weeks, about maybe $25 every 2 weeks. I didn't get money going to school. I wasn't paid to get money for school. So they get that as a benefit as well, and they get uniforms.
So that means pizza's on Destiny. All right. I want pepperoni. So let me ask you, Destiny. Is this something, you've been there a month and a half now, so you're having an opportunity to get an idea of the program, the training. the residency while you're there.
Yes.
Is this something that you suggest to your friends or family? Have you had an opportunity to talk to someone and go like, you need to come to Job Corps?
Yeah, I have. Me and my friend, we graduated together. And I mean, even though it's not exactly something that she would like to do, I feel like it's something for you, you know, like to get and to have a nice certification behind your name while you're trying to get money to go do something else. Like, even though like she wants to go to school to deal with kids, you can go to get your CNAs, like she knows how to work in cars. So you can get your automotive and stuff, because it's not something like you're illiterate and you actually know what you're doing. Mm-hmm. So I suggest you to just get a certification behind your name, just to make some extra money on the side, even if you don't know what you want to do. You know, just try something new. You never know if you might be good at it or not. So it's something I definitely recommend, because for me, it's a good opportunity, and a lot of stuff that a lot of people try to do is not cheap at all. Like, it takes money and actually takes time, and I feel like Job Corps is better. You get fed, you get paid, you know, you go on trips, you get to live there, you get to experience a lot of stuff that, you know, you usually would experience on a college campus, like living there with different people. And it's a lot of perks, a lot of free things that save a lot of people a lot of money. And honestly, I would definitely recommend it to all of my friends to come and go.
Okay. We talked a little bit about, before we started the show, Sharon, in reference to your work outside, I guess you could say, of the actual facility, and that's dealing with I know you mentioned dealing with the senators, but you also go out to try to help. Is that securing employment or talking with employers to try to get placement for them? And is that one of the specific things you do? You oversee it, or are you actually out in the field trying to get these placements?
I'll say that I am out in the field making connections to advertise and advocate for the program. Our work-based learning program is very important as a requirement for the student and for their benefit, so that they normally will work with a small business, because we want that business and that employer to be a mentor to our students, not just to see them as free labor, because normally they don't get paid, but we want them to learn. So it's my job to engage the community. 4 times a year we have a community relations council meeting where we have our community partners come to the center. We tell them about what's going on, and we want them to be our ambassadors and our advocates, because unfortunately Job Corps, and it's not just our center, is such a secret, and it shouldn't be a secret.
Especially after all these years, yeah.
Yes, after all these years, it's still such a secret. Or even if people know about it, they have misinformation or just have the wrong information.
And I was going to say that, because what I knew about Job Corps when I was younger is, and obviously I had the wrong information, is that Job Corps was a place that your parents sent you to, or someone sent you to because you were bad, or they couldn't deal with you. So I had always, until I actually learned a little bit more, had seen Job Corps almost like 2020.
Right.
But that's not the case.
That's not the case.
And
no.
this information, maybe I'm mistaken. Didn't I see a Job Corps commercial running recently?
Possibly.
I think they've started.
Seen it.
Yeah.
Yes, Department of Labor, they hire, the company that runs our PR is McNeely, Pickett and Fox, and they're out of Nashville. So they pay them money to do those kind of things. But for the most part, a lot of it is word of mouth. The majority of our students are from Cincinnati, but then we also have students from Cleveland, Columbus, Indianapolis. So it's a great opportunity. I would say our population, it's about 65% male and about 35% female.
And now, is that different from, let's say, 20 years ago? Was the male to female population a little more, I guess the male more escalated in terms of numbers?
No, I believe it was actually started just for males only, and years later they brought in females. But it's been a struggle to get female students or young ladies to enroll in the program. They may have children, have issues with child care, for different reasons though. So we just want to give them an opportunity to better their lives.
Do you find it in reaching out for partnerships with Job Corps, do you find that corporations or individuals are pretty open to it?
Yes.
Or are you having to go in and just do almost from the base up education on Job Corps? Are you actually going in and they're actually having a good idea of who Job Corps is and the mission?
Most people don't know anything about Job Corps, but I will say a lot of times I will invite people over and they've never been to the program or been to the building because they'll drive by 75. Oh, I've seen that building over there. But as soon as they walk in the door and take a tour of our center and have some of the food that Culinary Arts prepares, oh my, that is priceless.
So there's
It's
a cafeteria.
priceless.
So there's a cafeteria. Can people come, like, say, for, like, do they sell lunch that if somebody wants to come for lunch, they can
Yes.
come down? Really?
Yes,
Because I've
for
never been in
lunch.
the building.
You'll have to
I'm
come.
like you
You
just
will
said.
have
I'm the
to
one.
come.
I know the building.
Right,
I've
right.
stood outside and spoken to someone.
Right,
But
right.
I've never ventured in the door, so I have no idea what it
Yes,
looks like.
we have to make an appointment for you to come, or anytime that you want to come. We're welcome to have you come. Culinary Arts, those students do not prepare the meals for the students. We have staff, cafeteria
Okay.
staff that prepares the 3 meals in a day, every day. So it would be great to have you come in and take a tour. We have our students lead the tours. Very well maintained building because, like I said, the building is over 100 years old, and our maintenance department is, just does an awesome job with the, a lot of the building in terms of a lot of the updates have been done. Students have had an opportunity, like our carpentry students, our building and facility maintenance, and welding students have had an opportunity to enhance the program or the building, basically.
So they're actually, well, I guess they're part of their training is
Yes.
actually working,
Right.
really hands-on, working in the building.
Yes, and we recently completed the carpentry students recently completed a storage shed at the William Howard Taft Historical Society. So it was like building a miniature house.
Wow.
And we got a lot of pictures. It was really a great opportunity for them. So we do those kind of things. Community service projects gives us a lot of exposure, and it helps us build our image.
Okay. So let's say we go back 20 years for me and I'm 18 again.
Okay.
Yeah. we can do that in 20 years.
Okay.
So let's say we do that and I'm looking and maybe I see the commercial or something. I want to get involved. What is the process and how long is the process?
Okay. So if you see a commercial on TV, you could call 513-651-2000 and ask the questions, how can I get into the program? Well, they will tell you that we have our next orientation and information session on Wednesday at 8:30. You need to come dressed basically like you're in a profession, no gym shoes, no shorts, no do-rags. So come in and take a tour, get some information, and then come to see if you think it's good for you, a good fit for you. If basically after you finish that, you get the application and take it home, fill it out, then you'll make an appointment with the admissions counselor. Then they'll do an interview, ask you questions, because even if you are eligible, you might not be suitable for the program.
Okay.
So we want those things to actually make a difference, because a lot of times a family member, a mother or parent or grandparent wants that young person to go more so than that young person wants to go. So we want to be sure that it's suitable for that young person. We want them to be successful. We want to set them up for success. So it doesn't take, maybe if they come like on this Wednesday and they get all the paperwork done, they can be enrolled in the program to come the following Tuesday.
Oh, that quick. So,
Yes.
so I don't have to deal with FAFSA and get grants
No.
and loans and all this other stuff.
No, it's all free. It's all federally funded. It's estimated that the cost or the benefit for each student, the government spends our tax money about $35,000 per year per student.
Okay.
Yes, so that's money that they don't have to pay back. They don't have to get loans. They just have to come in the door and work hard, do what you need to do, follow the rules, and take full advantage of everything that we have here.
So that means when you open Destiny's Pastry at the Gateway, up there around Vine and all that, then you won't have student loans to worry about.
Nope.
So let me ask you, and this might be hard, tell me the one thing, what do you think is, for you, the greatest part of being at Job Corps?
The greatest part for me is being at Job Corps is cooking every day and being able to eat it and being able to elaborate on different types of recipes. And even though it's not necessarily college, we do college work. Like, we do open up a book and learn parts of the recipe and learn how to like butcher meat and stuff. So I like going to my trade every day and learning something new that I didn't know how to do before.
So let me ask, were you into cooking? Has that been an aspiration, or baking? I'm sorry, you said you're a baker. Baking, has that been an aspiration of yours since you were younger, or did you get there and looking at what I could do, what are the possibilities, and then you just came across that?
I've been wanting to bake since I was younger.
Okay. Did you bake when you were younger?
I did.
Would you have like an easy bake oven and baked it with the light bulb and
Easy
stuff?
bake oven, a little fake cook set at Walmart.
Okay.
Everything.
And so that part being in the culinary arts and what is it? Okay, so it's culinary arts, and what is it called? You're a baker. Is there another name that I may not know?
And no, it's not really. You just like, you're a chef. We little chefs.
Little chefs. All right. All right. So when Anita and I get a chance to come down, do you think that let us come down and be able to talk with some of the students and
Certainly.
stuff of that nature?
Yes, definitely. We can definitely arrange that.
I didn't ask her about it. I just threw it out. So, but yeah. So you go down. You could be enrolled. You can go through the whole process: application, interview, basically, and all of that. And within a week, maybe two.
Yeah, I would say 7 to 10 days.
7 to 10 days, and you're there.
Right.
And now, is everyone residential, or can you live off campus as well?
You can live off campus. The majority of our students, I would say about 140 students, live on campus, and the other students come Monday through Friday from 8 until 3:50.
Now, what are the students? So, well, I guess I can ask a student. There's a
Sure,
student
yes.
here. So, on the weekends, what are your weekends? I mean, do you still stay there over the weekends?
On the weekends, if you are a resident, you are allowed to go home. They will let you leave. And we also get PTO days, like during the week if we needed to go handle something at home, and we'll get to leave that day and come back.
What's the curfew?
9:30.
9:30.
On the weekdays, and on the weekends it's 11:30.
Oh, okay. So can you have a car if you're on campus? Are you allowed to have your own vehicle?
You can have a car, but it wouldn't really be any use unless you're like a non-resident, because it wouldn't really be anywhere to park it without like getting a ticket.
Oh yeah, that's
Right.
that part. That part by itself. God knows I don't want any tickets. You have a master's degree in public administration from Clark Atlanta University. Now I'm curious
Yes.
to what I said. I thought I said the right thing. But listen, I want to thank you very much for taking out time, for coming out. Destiny, I am praying for much success for you in the next 5 years. Destiny's Bakery on Vine or wherever, San Francisco, but definitely praying for success, and that this program gives you everything that you need and that you excel and take it further and further, and then always come back and always point people to where you got what you need. Ms. Sharon, I want to thank you very much for coming out, and especially, in this time and age that we're in, there are a lot of people pushing our young people in the wrong direction, but to give them guidance and something that's going to help them in their future, that will also be a blessing not just to them but to their children. The Bible says a good
Yes.
man, and I would assume that means a woman too,
Yes.
would leave an inheritance for their children's children.
Exactly.
And so you're giving a part of a program that's helping giving young people something that can not only benefit them in the present, but benefit their children as they move forward, and letting their children see them be successful in education and training and all of those things. So I thank you very much for it.
You're welcome.
And thank you guys again. Listen, one more time, we want to thank you for coming out, spending time with us. Again, on my behalf, Pastor Jackie Jackson and our producer, Anita Alexander, we thank you very much for your time. Now remember, stay faithful and be healthy.